Hi everyone, today let's talk about Tesla stock popping after deliveries for the semi program. Do me a quick favor and like and subscribe and watch the video till the end to help out the channel, and let's get started. So Tesla stock popped after the company revealed new details on its semi-truck deliveries. They say here they still remain on track to deliver semi-trucks by 2026, and they offered some more details on range and payload for the truck. They're targeting 50,000 units by 2026, and they currently have PepsiCo piloting this program, and they will be receiving an additional 50 trucks, and they are currently operating 35 trucks. And you can see on this news, Tesla went up quite a bit. So big move here for Tesla. Current range is approximately 500 miles and the range being 2,300 pounds. And that is for the long range. The standard range would be 300 miles at 20,000 pounds. And of course, they are still more agile than the traditional semi-truck. Looking at the charts here, you can see Tesla on the monthly chart, and it has really been on a very strong run. It opened up around $1 on a split adjusted basis, and you can see it ran all the way up here to around $400. Pretty solid runs here, just like we saw on this most recent run. Had a similar run in March of 2013, sideways choppy action for about 6 years there, sideways movement. Then we broke out, massive run, and now we've been sideways once again here since November of 20. And you can see what that looks like a little bit better, sideways choppy action. We are seeing a bullish move here on the monthly chart. Obviously, the month of May is not closed yet, but it does seem like this has some potential movement up into that 205 range. We've thrown some really deep wicks on this most recent move down. It's kind of hard to see with all of the different lines that I have, but this has been a solid move down from around 300 all the way down to the lows of around $130. But it did hold this trend here, and we did see some pretty strong wick rejections, and then we got some news here today that this is headed higher. It's been a really strong day, and now on that day we are up on the month. And like I said, this does have potential to roll to the bull side on momentum, and if it does, that could spell a multi-month run here for Tesla. Moving over to the weekly chart, looking at it a little bit closer, you can see this bigger move down here. Well, not from the tippy top, but here from December of 23, we fell all the way to that 139 like I talked about. Then we had a really strong move on earnings. The earnings themselves was not very good, but then we got news about Tesla Autopilot as well as Tesla Robotaxi. And now we got news here today about the Tesla semi-truck. So this has been on a run. You can see here we held that 9 EMA on the weekly chart, which is really strong. So your support there is at 171.20 right now, and we're bouncing off that level. And you can see on the weekly chart we got back above the 21 EMA. You'd love to see it hold that on a weekly chart. Current level of resistance is 188.50, but if that breaks here, then you could be looking for a 197.75 move. And you can see weekly momentum is on the bullish side, so this is swinging to the bull side. You would expect it to follow through based on what we've been seeing. And if we do get that follow through, your next dynamic resistance would be the 55 EMA all the way up at 218.64, which would be a really solid move from here. That would give you about a 17.25% move. Who knows how long it takes, but that would be what the weekly chart is pointing to. And then looking at that daily chart, you can see kind of a left shoulder head, right shoulder forming. So inverted head and shoulders. Seems like this is looking to break out. Again, 188.50 is your level. And then on these shorter time frames, you do have to factor in those down levels. So 144 EMA sitting there at 201.44 and the 200 sitting at 215. Probably going to see a move to that 200, get an initial test. You might see a pullback and then a push through. But remember, all of the longer time frames are spelling bullishness. We're just starting to see that daily chart come through. And Tesla seemingly has set up a base and seems to be and is looking for some more upside on those shorter time frames. Moving over to the Tasty charts here, you can see we hit those upper ATRs really powerfully here in January of 2020, and then you can see it again here in November of 22, November of 21, and that is your upper resistance here on the monthly chart. Does seem like we could push into that area. That would be all the way up in the 346, 347 area. Momentum though, you can see it on the volume weighted MACD is bullish. We're holding that 89 EMA there at 157.41. Touched that here in April, held that level, and it seems like we're pushing higher. You can also see that we touched the 144 month moving average back here in January of 23. Now we're holding a slightly higher low off of that level. It does seem like there's some potential upside there. And then looking at the weekly chart, you can see we hit that lower ATR, which was sitting down around 139.17, touched that level twice, and now we're holding a higher low back above the 8 EMA. Momentum on the MACD, however, is not confirming that rally up yet. And then you have weekly resistance sitting around that 213 area. So still bearish conditions on the weekly chart, even though the price action does look like a solid base and a potential swing to the upside. But here on the daily chart, you can see bullish conditions, ATR support down around 161.09, ATR resistance would be 202.50. So that gives you a pretty decent risk reward. Still have the 144 EMA sitting in there at 194.76, but shorter time frames definitely showing a potential change of trend, some bullishness coming in. Longer time frames still demonstrating some resistance. And then looking at that 4-hour chart here, you can see we are above that upper ATR on the news that we got here today. We saw it here on the earnings, really strong volume coming through there. And then again, the catalyst that we got here today pushing us up above that upper ATR. And then your ATR trailing stop would be 174.73. So upper ATR band acting as your resistance. But then again, looking at the daily chart, massive volume, really strong volume coming through on that move. And typically volume like that means there's going to be some pretty solid follow through. So Tesla demonstrating some strength on the shorter time frames to me means that we could see a trend reversal on those longer time frames. Moving over to the options here, we can see 3-day options. You can still get a little bit over 1% for a 3-day option. Pretty decent play there if you're trying to get into Tesla at a lower price, decent opportunity. I would be looking to stay bullish. That was my overall thesis. And I think selling a good put spread in here would make sense. So this would be about a $7.50 spread, so $635 potential loss, but a max profit there of $115. And you're already about a couple of dollars out of the money. Ton of volatility in here. You can see stock finished around 185, and this potential move is down to that 181 area. So certainly possible that you could lose money if you wanted to be a little bit more conservative. You could actually move out of the money a little bit more. Your max profit would be a little bit less because you're assuming a little bit less risk, but your probability of profit here you can see would be at a 72% chance. So I think this is a decent opportunity. I do like it to the bull side, but like I said, I would like to see it push above that 188 level. So if you are looking for a bigger position in there, you could sell the one strike in the monies, and that would give you about a $3.30 potential profit. Of course, understand that you're already in the money on that position, so your probability of profit's basically 50-50. So very similar to just buying the shares or buying the call option. So just to keep that in mind, I like this to the bull side, and there is some decent credit if you're looking to sell a put spread. Let me know down in the comments section what you think of the Tesla semi-truck. Is it going to be worthwhile? Will it be a moneymaker for Tesla? And what do you think about those charts? Will the short-term trends lead to trend reversal on the longer time frames, or is this just another blip? Definitely like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading and have a great day.